Once your Japonica corn starts growing, don't expect much variegation in the leaves at first. The amount of variegation will vary from plant to plant and will increase over time. I planted our Japonica corn next to a different variety because I plan to cross them, but how I do that will have to be a subject for another video. Japonica corn was introduced to America from Japan in the 1870s. Not only are the leaves variegated, but the kernels themselves are a deep red or burgundy color. This is what they look like in the middle of June, and as I mentioned before, the amount of variegation in the leaves varies from plant to plant, with some of them being amazingly beautiful. Some of the leaves will even develop shades of pink, as you see in this one. We really liked having Japonica corn out in our garden, and we especially enjoyed watching the plants change over time. Japonica corn is a Flint type corn, so it can be ground into a corn meal or corn flour, and also can be popped. Since we're in the middle of the pandemic as I make this video, I thought I should mention that corn is an excellent long-term storage food. If stored properly, Flint corn can be stored for over 20 years. Although as a food source it can be stored over 20 years, as a seed it's only viable for 2 years. About the middle of June is when ours started to tassel. That is the part that produces the pollen. About a week or so later, the ears start to show up, and you first notice them start to peek out from the sides of the stalk. As the ears grow, silk emerges from the top, and that's when they start being pollinated. Even the husk that surrounds the ear is variegated. You might notice that some of the stalks have little plants coming up from the sides. Those are tillers or suckers. Although some people remove tillers, we just let ours grow and they don't seem to hurt a thing. In early August, I decided to harvest our corn. And this is what an ear of Japonica corn looks like. It looks a lot different than the yellow corn that we're used to seeing. But yellow corn is actually a genetic mutation. The color of wild corn is purple instead of yellow. Here's a look at our ear of Japonica corn next to some ornamental popcorn I'm working with. I crossed the two types of corn, and since the Japonica corn doesn't look any different than it would otherwise, the Japonica color dominates the others. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure and subscribe so you can see what happens when I plant those crosses between the ornamental popcorn and the Japonica corn. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens myself. We'll see you next time.